It is Tuesday, and you know what that means. It means we are diving into health and wellness and mental wellness with All Points North Lodge. It's a brand new facility that just opened up in Edwards, and it's really been a fascinating conversation to get to meet some of their therapists and some of the people that are working there to just help improve the health of our community. And here this morning to tell us a little bit more about one of her specialties is Eva Goode. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So Eva, you are one of the primary therapists at All Points North Lodge, and there's a certain specialty that you have. It's called DBT.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what that is?
Yeah, sure. So it stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy.
Okay.
And it's a very specialized type of therapy. And I can explain what dialectical means.
Right, because right away I'm thinking, is that like a speech therapy, or what does that mean?
Yeah, most people think that. I thought that too at first. Really, dialectical means two opposing forces in the world that can be true at the same time.
Okay, so could you give us an example of that?
Yeah, sure. So for instance, a lot of us are skiers, right? Mm-hmm. And we may come up on a big cliff and really want to go off of it because it'd be really exciting and fun, and we could be terrified at the same time, right? And so those two opposing forces could be true at the same time, yeah.
All
and
right.
So being able to hold those two truths at the same time can bring a lot of inner peace. I can not judge myself for feeling terrified, right? And also have a lot of excitement.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And then maybe more practical, let's say, how does this work? Let's say maybe just with differing opinions with coworkers or something.
Yeah. So for instance, one of my coworkers can't stand roundabouts. And we have a lot of roundabouts in town,
We have
right?
a ton of those, yeah.
And I love them.
Okay.
And so we were driving in the car, and he was like, "Oh, I can't stand these." And I'm like, "Well, I love them." And, both of our truths can be true at the same time. We don't have to be in conflict. I'm not right, and he's not wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're just opinions, and his opinion is valid, and so is mine. And so this can bring us a lot of peace in relationships.
Right. And so how were you introduced to this type of therapy in the first place?
So I started working at an adolescent treatment center that did DBT and was introduced to it and just saw how much peace it could bring into the clients' lives. And then as years went on and I started doing it, I realized it was bringing a lot of peace into my life. And so I really went headstrong into following it and training myself and getting trained. Wow. There's a special training you go to, and you work in it for years, and then you can call yourself a DBT therapist.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how exactly does it work?
So there's a skills training component, which has 4 modules in it, and then you also talk about that therapy and how to apply it with your therapist in an individual session, and then you go into life and you apply it, right? And so in the skills training and with your individual therapist, there's 4 modules. There's mindfulness, there's emotion regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness, which means effectiveness in relationships.
Okay, so it sounds like there's kind of real world applications that you really you put this to use in. So it's not necessarily just we talk about this in a bubble, but it's also really you bring that into your life and into your relationships.
Definitely, yeah. Practice is probably one of the biggest portions of it, right? So you could sit and learn something, but if you don't go apply it to your relationship, or if you don't go use the mindfulness and awareness in your life, it's less effective.
Well, and so if there's somebody that's watching right now and maybe who would you say this would be a really, really good option for if someone's struggling with something in particular? What would this kind of be a good fit for?
Well, anyone who struggles with feeling like their emotions are out of control, and anyone, just anyone.
Yeah.
Right. So it can bring a lot of peace to anyone's life. Yet also, if you struggle with up and down emotions, if you struggle with any addictions, right? These up and down emotions could be causing a desire to use a substance or use a process addiction to cope, and so this could be really helpful for that.
I mean, I still have a million more questions. This is amazing. This is so fascinating, and obviously, if you want to continue that conversation, you can get in touch with All Points North Lodge. So apnlodge.com is the website, or 888-329-6212. But it's a great place to start, just to ask some questions, find out what what's going to be the right fit for you. So again, apnlodge.com, and you can find out if maybe this is the first step in your journey. Maybe DBT is a really good fit. So give them a shout, get in touch with them if it's something that feels like it could be the right fit for you. Up next, we're going to take a look at that local weather forecast, and we're also going to have another look at those first chair conditions.